Hello students, welcome to my another lecture by online mode. I am Dr. Avinash Kale, Department of Microbiology, SVKT College, Devlali Camp. Student, today we are going to see another aspect of innate immunity that is called as a hemostasis, which is commonly called as a clotting or coagulation of blood. Let us see what happens in this process, but before that you should know the process or topic, that is a concept and types of immunity, and after that you should know the another important mechanism that is taking place in this field of innate immunity, that is the inflammation process. Now in previous lecture we have seen about the process of inflammation and the different type of the inflammatory mediators. Blood clotting is also one of the important aspect or process in the field of inflammation. Now let us see the session agenda for this today's lecture. That today we will see about the meaning and the process of hemostasis, which factors are involved to bring the process of hemostasis in detail. So the learning objectives for this today's session are to state the role of hemostasis in the process of innate immunity, to know the mechanism of hemostasis in detail, so that how this process takes place at chemical, cellular and molecular level, that we will able to understand it here. So let us see the meaning or definition of hemostasis. So this hemostasis is defined as an arrest or stoppage of the process of bleeding when any injury takes place in that individual. So what happens in the hemostasis? So when the blood vessel, any injury is taking place, during that injury the rupture of the skin or that process takes place, and beneath that skin a blood vessel is there. That blood vessel is ruptured because that blood vessel is carrying the blood flow is taking place. And when immediately after that injury, there is an initiation of a series of reaction. In that series of reaction, variety of biochemical and molecular changes are taking place that result in the further stoppage of the blood outside the body. And that process is called as a clotting, or in clinical term it is called as a hemostasis. This process of hemostasis is taking place in 3 stages. The first is called as a vasoconstriction, that is a constriction or the shrinkage of the blood vessels. Then at that site of injury or leakage, there is a formation of plug of platelets, and after that the blood is get coagulated. So this can be explained by this slide or this picture here, how this process is taking place here. You can see it in the detail, where the final clotting or the stoppage of the blood taking place, in clinical term it is called as a fibrin clot formation, that is further no more wastage of blood is allowed by the body. Now what happens in the vasoconstriction? Let us see each step in the detail. Immediately after injury, the blood vessel constricts and decreases the loss of blood from the damaged portion. We all know the blood is called as a river of life. Blood is supplying variety of important things which are very vital to the body, to every part of the cell, and this flow is taking place through the vessel, that is called as the arteries and vein. And during this flow, when it is taking place, at that time, if their path is get broken down, if the path is get ruptured, so the blood will get waste, and the purpose of the blood to supply this nutrient component or the vital components will not be get solved, and that organ or the whole body will come in the danger. So to avoid that, in the innate immunity, nature has made this arrangement that when the breakage of this blood vessel is taking place here, immediately the wastage of the blood or the blood flow is avoided. So during that time, the constriction of the blood vessel is taking place here, so that that rupture site has become very narrow, so that the flow will be prevented further. So when the blood vessels are cut or punctured, the endothelium, the inner wall of that blood vessel is get damaged, and whatever the collagen which connects or which keep that blood vessel in the intact form, it is get exposed here. And this physical or mechanical type of the process itself is responsible to attach the platelets, which are one of the important blood cells, whose role is to clot the blood. So they attach to this collagen and they get activated here. And after this type of the activation, they secrete one chemical. That chemical is called as a cytokine. That is its name is serotonin, and other vasoconstrictor substances along with the serotonin, which cause the constriction of the blood vessels. This acceleration of the binding of the platelets to the collagen is accelerated by one factor which is discovered by the scientist Willebrand, von Willebrand. That's why that factor itself is called as a von Willebrand factor, or the platelet binding accelerating factor is there here. So this factor bridges the gap between the specific glycoprotein present on the surface of platelet and the collagen which are present in the fibril type of the form. That gap is bridged here and they form a network-like structure, so that the large size hole that pour out that blood is become narrow, and the path has become narrow, so the further entry of the blood is prevented. After that, the blood platelet plug formation is taking place. This, after the addition of the binding of the platelet to the collagen, okay, it secretes one chemical. That chemical is called as a adenosine diphosphate. We famously called it as a ADP, and thromboxane A, which is binded to that here. And these substances attracts more and more platelet and activate them. So ADP and thromboxane are responsible for the chemoattraction of the more platelets from the other side toward the area of the injury. And they form a loose temporary platelet plug. And this plug is also called by other name as a hemostatic plug, which close the ruptured vessel and prevent the further loss of the blood like this way. And this platelet aggregation is accelerated by the platelet activating factor. So for attracting the more platelets, for formation of the platelet plug, this variety of the factor are responsible, and among that platelet activation factor is playing a very important role. Once the platelet activation factor has formed the platelet plug, the next step takes place, which is very important, which is taking place in the series of events that is called as a coagulation of blood. So during the coagulation of the blood, the fibrinogen, which is the one type of the molecule that is converted into fibrin. Means before the clotting of the blood, fibrinogen, this protein which is present, it is present in the inactive form. But by this series of steps of this clotting, the fibrinogen is converted into the fibrin, that is forming a very tight meshwork or network-like structure that further prevent the flow of the liquid blood, and that clot that form the solid type of the mass at the type of the area, which are commonly called as a fibrin clots. So this process is taking place in the detail here. Now, which factors? Our main focus is on the actual mechanism of the blood clotting. So let us see which factors are involved in the clotting of the blood. This clotting of the blood also called by one more name, that is coagulation. So it is taking place, coagulation, through the series of reaction due to the activation of a group of substances which are necessary for the clotting, which are commonly called as a clotting factors. So there are 13 clotting factors have been identified by the scientists. Their mechanism have been identified here. Let us see their name here. So the factor 1 is called as a fibrinogen, factor 2 is called as a prothrombin, factor 3 is called as a thromboplastin or tissue factor, Factor 4 is called as a calcium. Labile factor is called as a factor 5. Then factor 6 is actually called, but its present has not been proved here. It is simply called as a factor 6 here. Factor 7 is called as a stable factor. Anti-hemophilic factor or anti-hemophilic globulin is named by the factor 8. The factor which is discovered during the festival of Christmas is called as a Christmas factor, which is called as a factor 9. Then factor 10 is called as a Stewart-Prower factor, which is discovered by the scientist. Then factor 11 is called as a factor plasma thromboplastin antecedent, and the Hegman factor, which is also called as a contact factor, is called as a factor 12, and the last factor, that is a fibrin stabilizing factor, called as a factor 13, which is also called by, which has an enzymatic activity, which is called as a fibrinase type of the factor. So all these are the 13 factors which comes in the sequence of reaction and brings about the clotting of the blood. So how this sequence is taking place here? So all these clotting factors are present in the form of protein, and like complement, they are having the enzymatic type of the activity. Normally all the factors, when the blood is normally flowing, they are present in an inactive form. They are readily produced, but they are present in the inactive type of the form, and these inactive forms are called as a proenzyme or the pro form, and these are activated into the enzyme by the sequence of biochemical reaction that enforce the formation of the clot of that blood. So this process of this activation of this proenzyme is taking place by the one chemical reaction. That chemical reaction is called as a convertase or enzyme conversion type of the reaction. The first one of this series is converted into an active enzyme that activate the second one, which activate the third one, which we commonly call them as a cascade-like type of the mechanism here. And this process continues until the final active enzyme thrombin, the last stage thrombin, is formed here. Now let us see the different steps of the blood clotting. In general, blood clotting occurs in the 3 stages. The first is called as a formation of prothrombin activator. Second step is called as a conversion of prothrombin into thrombin. Third stage is called as a conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin, which is the last step that leads to form the meshwork or threads formation, and that leads to clotting of blood. So let us see the first step. So formation of prothrombin activators. How this is taking place? So the blood clotting commences with the formation of a substance which is called as a prothrombin activator, which converts the prothrombin into thrombin, that is inactive thrombin into thrombin. This formation is initiated by the substances which are present outside the blood. Thus the formation of prothrombin activator occurs through the 2 types of the pathways. 2 pathways are responsible for this process. The first is called as an intrinsic pathway, and second is called as a extrinsic pathway. Let us see each pathway in detail. So intrinsic pathway that include the formation of prothrombin activator by the platelets which are present within the blood itself. That's why it is that's why the name is called as a intrinsic. What are the sequence of events of this intrinsic pathway? During the injury, the blood vessel is ruptured, which is the very first step, and damage of endothelium is taking place after the rupture of blood, and beneath the collagen, the endothelium, beneath the endothelium, the collagen which is present here, it is get exposed here, and during that time, the factor 12, which is named as a Hegman factor, it comes in the contact with the collagen, and this is converted into the activating factor 12 in the presence of the kallikrein and the kynogen. These are responsible for the activation of this type of the Hegman factor. The activated factor 12 converts the factor 11 into activated factor 12 converts the factor 11 into activated factor 11 in the presence of HMW and kinogen, which are commonly called as a Hegman factor. The activated factor 11 activates the factor 9 in the presence of the calcium. The calcium itself is the factor 4. Then this activator factor 11 activates the factor 10 in the presence of the factor 8, which is the not properly named, and in the presence of the calcium. And during this event, the platelets come in the contact with the collagen of the damaged blood vessel. It gets activated and it releases the phospholipid outside its body. And this activated factor 10 react with this phospholipid secreted by the platelets, and factor 5, they form the prothrombin activator. And all this process needs the presence of the calcium ion. So calcium is playing very important role for this type of the enzymatic activity. And this factor 5 is also activated by the positive feedback effect of the thrombin. Now the extrinsic pathway. After the intrinsic, we have to say extrinsic pathway. So in this pathway, the prothrombin activator is initiated by the tissue thromboplastin, which is formed from the injured tissues during that process of the injury here. So what are the sequence of events are taking place here? The tissue that are damaged during the injury, that release the tissue thromboplastin, whose name is the factor 3, and this thromboplastin contains the proteins, phospholipids, glycoproteins, which act as a proteolytic enzyme. Proteolytic enzyme, they digest the proteins. And the glycoprotein and phospholipid compounds of the thromboplastin, which convert the factor 10 into the factor 10, activated factor 10 in the presence of the factor 7. So the activated factor 10 react with the factor 5 and phospholipid compound of the tissue thromboplastin, that form the prothrombin activator, and this reaction requires the presence of calcium ions. So the role of calcium is very important in the different steps of the blood coagulation. So after this prothrombin is converted to thromboplastin, okay, the second step is called as a conversion of prothrombin into thrombin. The blood clot is all about the thrombin formation. Once the thrombin is formed, definitely leads to the formation of the clot. So the prothrombin activator that is formed in this intrinsic and extrinsic pathway, that convert the prothrombin into thrombin in the presence of this calcium or the factor 4. Once formed, thrombin initiate the formation of more thrombin molecule. These steps are repeated more and more, so that more clot formations are taking place, and initially formed thrombin activate the factor 5. And factor 5 in turn accelerate the formation of both extrinsic and intrinsic prothrombin activators, which converts prothrombin into thrombin. So this effect of thrombin is a positive feedback effect, which leads to the successful clot formation like this way. Now the stage 3 is a conversion of inactive fibrin, that is a fibrinogen, into active fibrin, and it occurs in the 3 steps, where the thrombin converts the inactive fibrinogen into active fibrinogen, that is called as a fibrin, and the activated type of the fibrinogen is called as a fibrin monomer. This fibrin monomer polymerizes with the other monomer molecule and form the loosely arranged strands of the fibrin. So these loose strands are modified into dense and tight fibrin threads by the fibrin stabilizing factor in the presence of the calcium ion. Again here the calcium ions are again needed. All the tight fibrin threads are aggregated, they are forming a thick meshwork of the stable type of the clot. Means here almost the clotting process is going to be complete. The further flow of the blood is stopped here. So all these events of intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway, they are just depicted in this slide. So you can easily understand here what actually happening in this both type of the process here. So in the both process, you will find there is a formation of the prothrombin activator, and again by the positive feedback, these prothrombin activators are formed in more and more number here, and this fibrinogen which are forming the loose strands, they are converted in the tight type of the blood clot, and in this various step if we will find there is an involvement of the calcium repeatedly, and due to that here the tightening of the blood clot or fibrinogen is taking place, so that no more further movement of the blood is taking place here. So what we have discussed in the previous slide, it is depicted in the abstract form in this type of the slide, that is very useful for you for your understanding in all these three stages by such type of the manner. So friends, in summary, today we have seen the hemostasis which is occur in the three successive stages. These are the vasoconstriction, platelet plug formation, and finally hemostasis or the coagulation or clotting of the type of the blood. And for this process here, the prothrombin activator, conversion of prothrombin which is inactive into thrombin, that is the active type of thrombin, and lastly conversion of inactive fibrinogen, that is a fibrinogen into active, that is in the form of the fibrin here. So all these three stages successively requires involvement of the all 13 factors togetherly, so that there is a formation of the particular successful type of the blood clots, it will takes place. So all this is about the coagulation or the hemostasis or the blood clotting. In next session, we will see the another aspects of the immunity, that is a different type of the organs of immune system. So thank you very much for patiently listening my lecture.